Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavid Ishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. We have been seeing that there is no diversity in the one without the second, Atma and the Self. So, how can there be diversity? That was the question raised. It is not at all possible. There is no diversity. Diversity means what? It is one without the second. So, not even there is a room for the second. So, diversity is not at all possible. Now, we shall read the 400th verse again. Asat kalpo vikalpoyam Vishwamityeka vastuni Nirvikare nirakare Nirvisheshe bidakutaha. I am Vishwam, this universe or this world. Vikalpaha, it is just a projection of the mind. Asatkalpaha, it is unreal. It is just a imagination only. Ekavastuni, iti ekavastuni nirvikare nirakare nirvisheshe bidakudaha. How can there be the diversity? Bida means diversity. How can there be diversity in this one ekavastuni, nirvikare, which doesn't change, modify into anything, nirakare, without any form, nirvisheshe, meaning non-specific existence. Vishesha means specific, nirvisheshe, non-specific existence. Meaning what? Now we exist as what? Specific entities. I am so and so. Non-specific existence means what? I exist, full stop. As what? There is no question of as something. I exist. This is non-specific existence. So this is the self. So in that self, in one pure existence, how can there be division? How the diversity is possible? So it is not possible. So whatever may be our even little bit of doubt is removed here. Nothing whatsoever is other than the self. But can't you give some exception to God? God, you give him some exception. He is there along with the self. Why can't you say that? No. If you accept God as a separate entity apart from the self, both will die. God also will die and you also will die. So, in some films, the end, the climax, everybody will die. So, what is the meaning of it?
Apocalypse.
So, like that, everybody will die means it is not accepted by the philosophy because the self can never perish. So, therefore, there is nothing other than the self whatsoever. Now, moving on to the 400th verse. Another 2-3 verses, it is going to be the same idea. Bidakutaha is going to ask. Yes.
So, instead of I am, is better?
I don't know. How do I know? Idella valta jalangal, It's all words only, na. How does it matter? I am, I is.
A problem.
Yeah. So you abide there and find out whether it is I am or I is, instead of asking me. Drashtrudarshana drishyadi bhavashunyaika vastuni nirvikare nirakare nirvisheshe bidakutaha Drashtrudarshana drishyadi bhavashunyaika vastuni nirvikare nirakare nirvisheshe bidakutaha. As we have told you earlier also, in this one eka vastuni, in this one self, what happens? Drashtru darshana drishyadi bhavashunyaihi. Bhavam means what? Idea or sort of a concept. What is the concept? Drashtru darshana drishyadi. Drashtru means the seer or one who is experiencing. Drishya means that which is seen. Darshana means whatever is happening, the seeing. So these three are not in that eka vastuni. So in that eka vastuni, all the three are negated. There is nothing other than the self. If that is so, then nirvikare, nirakare, nirvisheshe, bidakutaha. How come there can be diversity? If the very person who would recognize the diversity is not there. So where can there be diversity? Nirvikare, nirakare, in that which never changes or which has no form, and non-specific, bidakutaha, how can there be diversity? So bhavashunyai, no thoughts whatsoever. Bhavashunyai. You cannot think of it in any way. You cannot associate with it in any way other than your own self. See, if it is a Ishta Devata, let us say Lord Krishna, you can say Lord Krishna is my friend. See, you can associate in through some sort of a relationship. And if you say Lord Shiva, he is my father, like that, he is my guru, like that. But with the self, there is no this kind of relationship possible. It is my own true self, full stop. So that is why for heart-oriented people it is a little difficult. If a Ishta Devata is given and you can, develop some sort of bhavana. Bhavana means what? He is like my, friend. Something like that. Then it is wonderful. It is really, very nice. But here, nothing of that sort. Means your own self and no bhavana is allowed here. Bhavashunyaihi. See, that is why there is a difference actually. See, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and his path is full of bhavam only. Sometimes he assumes himself to be Hanumanji and he worships Rama. And that point of time he even developed a small tail. You know that? Little. That is what it is said. It is recorded in the history.
You imagine.
So much of intense bhavana, that kind of sort of a thought process, so that he developed a little bit. Sometimes, you know what? He used to wear saris and think himself to be the Radha, Gopika. And he loved Krishna. Like that, his sadhana was more bhavana oriented, bhavam. But when you come to Bhagavan, he will never allow any bhavam. No bhavam. Who is having this bhavam? Inquire. And he will say. So, and the true self is bhavashunyam. Nothing is allowed there. This kind of, some relationship is not allowed there. That is why it is not the path for ordinary. It is a path for extraordinary. So you have to lose everything there. All sorts of emotions and all sorts of imaginations have no room there. So therefore sometimes bhakti is easy and also very rasamaya. But here there is no rasa. Only Brahmananda Rasa after you recognize it. Brahmananda Rasa is there after you recognize it. So, Bhava Shunyaihi Ekavastuni Vidakutaha. How can there be diversity? Therefore, whatever diversity we perceive, it is all our own mind's projection. It's all out of delusion only. Like seeing a ghost in the post. It is not true. Kalpar Navaivatyanta Paripurnaika Vastuni Nirvikare Nirakare Nirvisheshe Bidakutaha Kalpar Navaivatyanta Paripurneka Vastuni Nirvikare Nirakare Nirvisheshe Bidakutaha. Another beautiful example is given here. Kalpa Arnave, at the end of delusion, at the end of Kalpa, it is delusion. You know, deluge, meaning what? Everything is swallowed by the ocean, by the waters. That is how it is said in our scripture also, maybe in the Christianity also. Deluge, total, meaning what? The ocean, it swells and it engulfs, it swallows everything and nothing remains. Imagine that after the cycle is over, Kalpa Anta, there is total deluge. In it there is nothing other than the water. You cannot see any difference between a well water, river water, lake water. Everything is consumed and not even any buildings, anything left behind. There is only water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink.
Nobody to drink.
Yeah. So it is full, but na? So in that, Iva Atyanta Paripurna Ekavastuni. Like that, this Ekavastu. Atyanta Paripurna. It is full and there is nothing other than it. Like the ocean after deluge. There is nothing except the water. And everything is quiet. You can't see waves also, because where will you see the waves? When everything is engulfed with water. Imagine Atyanta Paripurne. It is totally water and nothing but water. In there, where is the diversity? How can anybody find out this is this, this is that? Everything is gone. What a beautiful, picturization. So in that, there is nothing except water. Like that, in the Paripurne, Atyanta Paripurne Ekavastuni, in that one self, Nirvikare, Nirakare, Nirvisheshe, Kuto Bidaha, how can there be multiplicity, diversity? There cannot be. So it is one without the second, and your own self. There even the experiencer is not born. So what to talk about the experienced? See, this is what Ramana Maharshi and others are emphasizing. When there is no first person even, how can you talk about the second person or third person? Meaning only with the reference to the first person, I call somebody as you. And the other person far away as he, she, it. So when the very first person, the frame of reference, the reference point itself is gone, then where will be the second person or the third person? See how significant it is. So therefore, in that Ekavastuni, there cannot be any diversity whatsoever. It is one without the second. And these Mahatmas have realized it, and they always abiding in it and experiencing the bliss of the Paripurna, Atyanta Paripurnam. See, only that Paripurnam can satisfy us. When we reach there only, everything is done. Nothing more to be done. That sort of total fulfillment. Nowhere to go. Nothing to prove. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti in its true sense. Atyanta paripurna eka vastuni nirvikare, nirakare, nirvisheshe vidakutaha. Tejasivatamo yatra pralinam bhranti karanam advitiye pare tattve nirvisheshe vidakutaha. Tejasivatamo yatra pralinam bhranti karanam advitiye pare tattve nirvisheshe vidakutaha. Tejasi tamo iva, meaning in the light. Tejasi means in the darkness is dispelled. Similarly, when the right knowledge happens, all the delusions are removed, destroyed. So, pralinam bhranti karanam. Pralinam means what? The darkness, as if it has merged or it has gone when the light comes. So, similarly, when the true knowledge happens, all the illusions because of our delusion has gone. Bhranti karanam is removed. The ajnanam is removed. So here the tamaha represents the darkness also and ajnanam also. So with reference to the darkness is merged in the light, it is darkness. There in the Atma, the self, or in the true knowledge, the ignorance is merged or it is destroyed. So there all the bhranti karanam, the cause for our delusion is gone. So when everything is gone, what remains? Only the self. If that is so, advitiye pare tattve nirvisheshe, in that one without the second, advitiye pare tattve, in that supreme self. Why it is called a supreme? Because there is nothing other than it. So pare tattve nirvisheshe, non-specific existence. Vidakutaha. How can there be any diversity? So in all these four verses, he has emphatically, categorically, he has denied or he has refuted the possibility of diversity. So the one and one alone. See, even in the Vyavahara, if you are devoted to one, there is shanti, there is joy, there is no confusion. When there are two, three, there is always a confusion. Some people ask me, Swamiji, I love so much Arunachala, but also I like Balaji Venkateshwara. Whom should I now worship? You worship one. No, I like both of them. What can I do now? Okay, continue, worship. But who is really supreme? Balaji or Arunachala? See, then what can we say? What can we say? Swami, I think when you want material prosperity, we should go to Balaji. If you want spiritual progress, to Arunachala. Okay, so you divide yourself, compartmentalize. See, this is very wrong, you know. If you think this way, it is very wrong actually. You don't understand what it is. The Supreme Self cannot be this way, you know, divided. One will give you material prosperity, other will give you spiritual progress. No. Even lot of devotees of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, they also keep Shirdi Sai in their puja room. Why? Because this fellow, we don't know what he will give or will not give. He is a common Andi. Kaupina, what can he give me now? Shirdi Sai maybe. No, all siddhis he have got, so he may bless me. But Bhagavan also will keep. Mukti kudukum theriyadu. Shirdi. So we keep both together. And you know what? People have got so much of ajnana. Once somebody asked me, Swamiji, my daughter, I want to name my daughter. Please suggest a name. I said, Kaivalya. I said, what a beautiful name, Kaivalya. Then she went and discussed with his wife. Wife was very disturbed. Kaivalya means what will happen? She will go away like that. Kaivalya? No. Okay, you add Sai before that. Sai Kaivalya. So when you add Sai, okay, she will be in the world only. What an ajnana. And if you go and ask Shirdi Sai about this, he will laugh. Is it not so? So we should not have this kind of division. It is one without the second. Ishtadevata can be only one. But all other gods, whoever, wherever you, whichever temple you go, you can worship and you can sort of respect and all. But you should have one Ishtadevata whom you can really sort of relate to. That should be one only. But sometimes people have got this confusion. Arunachala also is there, Bhagavan is also there. Whom should I worship? Are Baba, Arunachala only is Bhagavan. That way you think. They are not two, they are one. Then it is good. And Ganapati should be worshipped always first, na? First. Then how can I leave him? Okay, take Ganapati also. Saraswati ma, I need education. Okay, take her. Mahalakshmi, what about? Wealth you want? Okay, have her. So you go to anybody's puja room, my God. So many gods everywhere. When you name it, they have it. And very difficult. They have to pray to everybody. If they forget one, then that God will, go. We will see now. Scared. Okay, for you also. Like that.
Very disturbing.
Yeah, people get so obsessed with so many things. So it's all broken here. No diversity possible in the self. It is one without the second. Therefore, you not worry too many things. एकात्मके परे तत्वे भेदवार्ता कथं वसेत् सुषुप्तौ सुखमात्रायां भेदकेनावलोकितः एकात्मके परे तत्वे भेदवार्ता कथं वसेत् सुषुप्तौ सुखमात्रायां भेदकेनावलोकितः. So now here he is giving another example or another logic and reasoning. Even in our day-to-day life, in the deep sleep, sushuptau sukamatrayam, where there is only sukha, bedaha kena avalokitaha, who can recognize the bheda, the diversity, even in the deep sleep, our own experience. When the experiencer is not there, is unmanifest, he is not, there are no experiences possible. So there is no diversity even in the deep sleep. What to talk about, ekatmake pare tattve. At least it is said in the deep sleep there is something called as ignorance, non-apprehension of the reality. See, ignorance is not like a urundai. Don't think. Ignorance means non-apprehension of the reality. Or misapprehension, whatever. So, in the ekatmake pare tattve, in the supreme self, how can there be Beda Varta Katam Vaset? Even there cannot be any talk about Beda Varta, Beda, diversity. Even in the deep sleep, there is no diversity. It is our own experience. When there is no experiencer, there is no diversity. If that is so, in the ultimate truth, where there is no experiencer, experienced Trinity, or what is called as Triputi. So there, how can there be diversity? Diversity is only for the ego self. When the ego self is gone, there is no diversity. It is experienced every day in our deep sleep. See? Even in the deep sleep, there is no difference between I, you, he, she, it. There is no difference of Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Beda. There is no even thought of God. There is no thought of myself, my wife or children, nothing. Dream is different from the deep sleep, according to our Shastras. When you are disturbed from deep sleep, then you dream. That is a different state. But in exact deep sleep, there is nothing. Therefore we say, I slept like a log of wood or like a baby. That's what they say. I really had a very deep sleep. There was no disturbance. I enjoyed. Really very fresh now. We say, no? This ego self, because of perceiving diversity, because it gets swayed by these diversities, disturbed, it is very tired. So it gives up everything and goes. And then there is nothing. And then it cannot remain like that, because you say they prarabdha karma will not allow like that. So once again it comes out and daga 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 it dances and then goes back. Every day it happens. Not only with human beings, even all the other creatures, they want to go back. So this is how it is. In the deep sleep also, there is no diversity. So there cannot be any talk of diversity in the ekatmake pare tattve. In that supreme self, there cannot be even a talk of diversity. See, Bheda Varta Katam Vaset. How can there be even a talk of diversity in that supreme self? There cannot be. Now, Nahyasti Vishwam Paratattva Bodhat Sadhatmani Brahmani Nirvikalpe Kalatrayena Pahirikshito Gune Nahyam Bubim Bindur Mrugatrishnikayam Nahyasti Vishwam Paratattva Bodhat Sadhatmani Brahmani Nirvikalpe Kalatrayena Pahirikshito Gune Nahyam Bubindur Mrugatrishnikayam Nahi Asti Vishwam Paratattva Bodhat. When you realize your own true self, Paratattva, the supreme self, Bodhat, when you realize or when you are awakened to that, what happens? Nahi Asti Vishwam. There is no world for you. Nahi Asti Vishwam. Other than the true self, there is nothing. Sadatmani Brahmani Nirvikalpe. Sadatmani, Sadatmani. In the true self, Brahmani, in that Brahmadattvam, Nirvikalpe. Meaning where there are no difference, no divisions, there you don't see anymore any world. In that awakened state. In fact, what is said here, Kalatraye na api ahihi ikshato gune. In the 3 periods of time, you don't see any snake in the rope. Gune means rope. Ahihi means snake. Ikshitaha gune. Nobody can see a snake in the 3 periods of time. Past, present and future. Even while you are seeing the snake was not. See? Similarly, Nahi Ambu Binduhu. Mrugadrishnikayam. Ambu Bindu means what? Even a water drop is not there in that mirage water. In all the 3 periods of time. See, this is very significant because even while you are seeing the snake was not. Snake was never born. So, even when you are ignorant also, even when you are experiencing also, the world is not. It is not only when you are awakened, the world is not. When you are ignorant, the world is. It appears to be, but it is not. Like the snake vision in the rope. Even when you are seeing the snake vision, actually speaking, it is not. Innocent rope alone is. So even when you are seeing the water drops, but still there is only desert sand, there is no water in it. So only the Adhisthana is the truth and the Aropita is imagined. So this is a Advaita Siddhantam. See, there is another Siddhantam which says, yes, when you are in ignorance, duality is there. But when you realize the self, there is no duality. This is also one step below only. Actual Advaita Vedanta says, since it is imagined, even when you are seeing it, it is not the truth. So therefore, the world was never born. See, the snake was never born in, there is only rope. The ghost has never come to being, only the post. And the reason for this is very, very important. Brahma Tattvam, when you realize it, it is known to be not changing, or it cannot be modified into anything. Because whatever changes, modifies, will perish. Is limited. Is limited. It is unlimited. It has no change. Therefore, how can anything can come out really? If the milk is there, it changes into curd. Like that, the Brahman cannot become the world. Then the Brahman will die. So, Vivarta means what? It's only an appearance. As if the world has come out. But the world has not come out. As if why it has come out? Because you see it. Why do you see it? Nobody knows. Why I see the world? Don't come and ask me. You ask yourself, why are you seeing the world? You are only seeing the world, na? Why are you seeing the world? Swamiji, I don't know. Please tell me why I see the world. If you are seeing the world, you should tell me. How can you ask me? I am telling you there is no world. When you see a world, you should only account for it. How are you seeing a world when you cannot? Enna pitalaatama irukku? Why are you seeing the world? Swamiji, enna vamba pochu. See, the world is not, but you see it. The snake is not, but you see it. The ghost is not, you see it. So then it is said, it is your own mind's. Because of your because of delusion means what? Not seeing the rope or the post, then you see a snake or the ghost. So all these things are said, because of delusion, but the delusion is not possible from the highest standpoint. The Paramatma can never be deluded. So from the highest standpoint, Paramatma can never be deluded. There is nothing other than Paramatma, so ignorance is not. So it is not possible to reconcile between these two different frame of references. One frame of reference is enlightened. That is one frame of reference, enlightenment. Other frame of reference is one of ignorance. We are trying to reconcile, it is not possible. You accept it as it is. Only thing is, this frame of reference is not always available. So it's not Satyam. It is negated in the deep sleep. And it's negated in the Samadhi. Therefore, it cannot be accepted as truth. So whatever is always there, that only is accepted as truth. So this enlightened state, when you are awakened there, it is not that you realize, oh, I have found a Paramatma. You realize how stupid I was. How could ever I have misunderstood this? So in all 3 periods of time, there was no world, there was no ajnana, there was nobody bound. Nobody got liberated. There is only Atma, the self, which is Nitya Muktaha, ever free. This is Advaita Vedanta. So all that is superimposed is just superimposed only, not the actuality, not the truth. It is all imagined. So how can you consider an imagination to be a reality? In the dream you imagine so many things that you yourself accept it as, unreal. Chuma poik, it's not true. When you get up, you accept it. But this is very hard to accept. Why? With great efforts, I have invested so much here. How can it go unreal? I have invested my energy, my knowledge, everything here to build this wealth, the relationships, my name, my image. If you say unreal, then all goes waste. Yes, sorry. You have invested in the wrong place. Therefore, Atma Ichcha Vyavasiyatam. You invest here in the self, then you will not regret, because that is the truth. So therefore, Veda Varta Kalatrayam Napi Ahihi Ikshato Gune. So even in the 3 periods of time, nobody can ever truly accept the snake vision in the rope, because there was only the rope. Similarly, not even a bit of water, drop of water in that mirage, you cannot accept water. But it appeared, yes. Okay, it appeared, but it was never. So this is how it is expressed.
So this is the crux of all the Advaita philosophy.
This is the crux of Advaita philosophy. It was not that you are in the Ajnana Dasha, then you realize. This Ajnana Dasha itself is imagined. There was no Ajnana, only the self, which is Nitya Mukta. Self has never become anything. It can never. Because by its nature, it can never. If you accept it has become something, then it has to perish, and it is not absolute, it is not infinite, and there you are. But when they awakened, they realized that it cannot perish. It's absolute. There is no space and time there. Time can only destroy everything. There is no time there. So it cannot be destroyed. So if it cannot be destroyed, if it is absolute, if it is infinite, then it doesn't modify into anything. So if you accept the world to be a reality, Brahman has modified into reality, then it is a problem. Philosophically, it is a big problem. It becomes limited and perishes. It cannot be accepted that way. It is not so, it cannot be accepted also that way. So therefore, but I am seeing it. So it is called as Vivarta. Vivarta means only an appearance. It is not actually happened. Iva. I told you, in Sanskrit language, in this Bhashyam, Iva is as if it has happened. But actually, it has not happened. Everything is as if you are married, as if you are joyful, as if you are living this life. But actually, if you vichara, when you do proper vichara, everything is understood to be nothing except the self. Why I am saying except the self? This cannot be denied. Nobody can deny their existence. This is the heart of our truth. We cannot deny it. Unfortunately or fortunately, we cannot deny it. Even if you want, you cannot. So therefore, this alone cannot be denied. Everything else can be denied. In deep sleep, everything is denied. At the present moment, we feel, even I have not realized this, even I don't recognize the self in the deep sleep. True. But nobody says, I am a different person now. There was no continuity. Nobody says, I slept well, only everybody feels. See, our experience is what? I slept well. So I was there somehow. Somebody was there. So even when you are under chloroform, anesthesia, meaning what? The mind and buddhi, that goes somehow into some sort of state, unmanifest state. But your existence cannot be questioned. The Mahatmas, even when they have gone through this kind of mayakam, they faint and they fall, and even their heart stops. and they become cold. But still, Bhagavan, once it happened for him, the second death experience, Bhagavan says, it has happened. It is all there. In the history books, it's there. It is noted. Bhagavan, இந்த ஒரு ஆமை பாறைன்னு ஒன்று இருக்காங்க. ஆமை means turtle. A rock is like a turtle shaped. There he had gone along with one of the devotee. Suddenly he fainted and he just fell down unconscious. Bhagavan. This is after realization, after so long, he fell unconscious. And then the heart stopped, it seems. And the devotee was so scared. And he was touching Bhagavan, he was very cold. And he started crying, it seems. Oh, Bhagavan has gone. He started crying. Bhagavan himself has narrated this later. Then Bhagavan says, afterwards he says, I am aware of everything. My body falling unconscious. And the heart not beating and body becoming chill and somebody crying, the devotee crying. And whatever may be the miracle, suddenly everything came back, Bhagavan says. So, even in that state of coma or whatever, still he says, my existence is not denied. So maybe Bhagavan Arunachala has given all this experience only to reaffirm again and again that this is not denied even in any avastha. Any avastha. Whether you are unconscious, whether you are in a coma or in the deep sleep or in the samadhi, wherever, the self cannot be denied. This is very, very, very extraordinary. The science cannot understand this. They have not gone that deep. They are only caught up in the mind. Even mind some people don't accept. So when you go deep, then it is said the existence is not denied. So that existence is beyond any equipment. See what happens, all the equipments becomes dysfunctional. What happens there? When anesthesia is given, our Acharya says, mind no more enters into that part. Meaning the mind becomes dysfunctional. Even buddhi can become dysfunctional. Sense organs can become dysfunctional. But this is beyond the equipments, beyond the instruments, beyond the body mind. Therefore, it is not denied at all. See? So therefore, kalatrayenapi, even in the 3 periods of time, this snake vision was never. A drop of water is not in the mirage water. So therefore, this ajnana was never, this world was never, I was never bound, never liberated, and there is nobody who is struggling, nobody in bondage, nobody liberated. There is nothing. Huh? What? There is no thing. When you say nothing, people get scared. How can you say nothing? You are talking Buddhism. Why not? I will talk Buddhism. So what now? Why? Buddha is a kirkan or what? Only Adi Shankara is great or what? Oh, you are talking Buddhism. Yes, we will talk Buddhism. So what now? What is your problem? Do you mean to say that Buddha is a madcap and only your Adi Shankara is a buddhiman? Don't have all these misconceptions. Buddha also enlightened. What do you know about enlightenment? What do you know about thing or no thing? See, in the highest state, everything blurs. Is and is not becomes one. Is and is not becomes one. Knowing and not knowing becomes one. Everything blurs there. Uruvai, Aruvai, Uladai, Iladai, Maruvai, Malarai, Maniyai, Oliyai.
Even existence and non-existence.
Whatever we understand as existence. Because we have not experienced the actual absolute existence. For us, something is means existence. Something is not means non-existence. So with this yardstick, if you go to the highest, there it blurs. It is something else. See, you understand what I am saying? In this frame of reference, our yardstick is existing means what? Something is. Non-existent, something is not. Always with reference to the objects only. So there, when there are no objects, you do not know what is existence actually. Because always we know existence only with reference to the object being there and object not being. But there, when there are no objects, then you do not know what to say about it. You have not experienced such a state. So whatever is the idea of existence or non-existence is also blurred there. See, it is not simple, easy. See, why Adi Shankara came with that hammer to hit again and again? Because his Shishyas and others started believing in Shunya only. Buddha never. But the Shishyas may start believing in Shunya and they start propagating Shunya and they start brainwashing the Hindu community, Sanatana people, that there is no Brahman, no Atman, there is nothing. So he came for a purpose. With the Mudgara, he came and he broke all those things. It doesn't mean that he also knew Buddha was enlightened. Buddha was a great master, no doubt about it. Like Adi Shankara, Buddha was a great master. But what happened? The Shunyavada is misunderstood. Because in Devika-lotra, you know what, is Agama Shastra. It's not even Vedanta. Agama Shastra is generally Dvaitik. It is Upadesha given by Shiva to Parvati. There he talks about this Shunya. Shunya means what? This Mahashunya Padam. He says you meditate on Shunya to reach the Shunya Padam, he says. Shunya Padam means what? There is no thing.
In this word, for example, if you say Purna or nothing, it is the same thing which is perceived in this word, perceived in two different ways.
Yeah, true. That is what? See, our consciousness is only about existence of a thing or non-existence of a thing. You understand? It is beyond. It illuminates both. Knowledge and ignorance, it illuminates both. So it is beyond, it is said means what? It is taken to a giddy height. There, everything is negated and that cannot be negated. That much only you can say. So therefore, all these ideas is not there. Now, moving on. Maya matramidam dvaitam advaitam paramartataha iti bhrute shruti sakshad sushuptavanubhuyate Maya matramidam dvaitam Advaitam paramartataha iti bhrute shruti sakshad sushuptavanubhuyate Maya matramidam dvaitam. This dvaitam, this duality, Maya matram. Maya matram means just an illusion. It is not true. Advaitam paramartataha, the actual truth, paramartataha, is Advaitam, non-dual. Iti brute shrutihi sakshat. Iti brute shrutihi means even the scriptures, they assert this truth again and again. That this duality is Maya matram and Advaitam is paramartataha. This, the shrutis, they again and again assert. And not only that, Sakshat sushuptu anubhuyate. In the deep sleep, you yourself experience this. See, that is why on the day I told, when Bhavana was expressing about these three states and was talking about deep sleep, I was so thrilled because here is the key to open the doors of moksha. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi again and again says, this avasthatraya viveka. When you know what is deep sleep, you know everything. Not even dream. Okay, dream also gives a hint. Because to understand how the waking also is a dream, the dream state gives a hint. But in the deep sleep only everything is there. Meaning what? In the deep sleep, we experience every day this non-dual. But we have not experienced it consciously See, this is what Bhagavan says. Please listen to me carefully. Since we have not experienced it consciously in the Samadhi Avastha, even though we glide into the self, we don't know we are gliding into the self. This is the self we don't know. Because we have not experienced that non-specific existence. See, please understand. Always we have experienced only specific existence as the ego self, as a personality, seeing this, seeing that. So when the specific existence becomes non-specific, since because we have never experienced that, we cannot recognize that. So in the Samadhi Avastha, again and again consciously if you go into that, even when you go into deep sleep, you know that this is it. See, that is what called Jnanam. See, Jnanam means what? See, every deep sleep we are experiencing Brahman only, self only. What is said, Ajnanam means what? Even though we are experiencing, we are not, because we have been exposed only to the specific existence. We do not know anything about the non-specific existence. So we say, I don't know. But actually, we are one with the self. What happens in Samadhi? Consciously, we glide into it again and again. So, that Susukshma Vritya comes here only. Through Susukshma Vritya, you sort of go into the Samadhi, and if you go there and come back few times, you know what it is. So therefore, when you glide into the deep sleep also, you know this is it. This is knowledge, this is it. Otherwise, actually speaking, Bhagavan says, you are one with the self only. See, this idea of, ignorance and all is yes and no only. Why yes and no? Actually, there is no ignorance in deep sleep. You are gliding and you are in the self only. But unfortunately, why we have to accept ignorance? Because you do not know this is it, this is that state. Because that non-specific state is something, you have not experienced. So you don't know this is it. See, this is like this, let us say. You have been, associating with the elderly Amma, let us say, elderly lady. And that lady for some reason is very kind to you. And you are also very kind to her, very nice. Suddenly you realize, oh, this person is my mother. In cinemas and all it happens, na? Suddenly you realize, this person is my mother. What happens? Always she was your mother only, but you were not knowing it. When you know it, there is some special sort of emotion swelling in your heart. Is that not so? What happened now? Always she has been your mother. Like Kunti Mata. Nobody knows except Krishna and Kunti Mata that Karna is her son. But somehow Karna felt that this Amma was very kind, very nice and all. But suddenly one day it was revealed. What happened there? Nothing happened. Always she has been the mother only. But because of this knowledge, she is my mother.
He became not happy, he became unhappy.
See, all those things are fine, but initially he was relieved and very happy because everybody was taunting him. Because you are nobody knows your roots, all those things. So he was happy only. See, how do we know? We have not been there. Only drama and cinema we have seen.
That's why he was on the side of Kauravas.
That is true. But later he became unhappy because then Dharma Sankat now. They are brothers and he is my friend who has really taken care of me. All those things. So we will not go there. This example is what? So you are not knowing and then you know what has happened. Nothing has happened actually. But there is a difference. Is that not so? So in the deep sleep, you go into the self and you abide in the self only. Don't worry, you are a Brahmajnani. Every night you are a Brahmajnani. All are. Every night you are a Brahmajnani only. When you get up, somehow you become a Ajnani. That is why, see, our Acharya also gives a beautiful some insights. We think ignorance means something dark or something, some object like. No, it is just not knowing is ignorance. It is not an object. So when knowledge comes, what is removed? That not knowingness is removed. What is knowledge is not an object. No knowledge what it is. It's not an object. So nothing has happened here. But everything has happened. Meaning, the electricity was there. Somehow, we were not aware. We were not able to see the plug point. It is all concealed, let us say. And then somebody shows you, this is the plug point. Through this you can connect to the electricity. Then you plug in there. Ah, got it. It was there always, maybe sort of hidden from your vision. Not hidden actually, from your vision. Because you were not knowing exactly where. Maybe behind the cupboard, you see that. Somebody says. See, sometimes in some houses we go and we don't find a plug point. See, old houses, but they would have put some cupboard there because there only it fits. Only the people know it who are living there. And we will be wondering where is the plug, and we curse them also. See, there is no even plug point in this house. What is this nonsense? And then they come and tell you, Buddhu, you see here. Oh, here is the plug. It's very comfortable, very close to you. So, it was not even hidden. You do not know it.
Yeah.
When it was revealed to you, you say, very good. So I have got the connection towards it. So similarly, in the deep sleep, since we have not experienced it consciously, therefore experiencing it consciously is very important. That is what is called as jnanam. When you say consciously experiencing, there comes vritti. Susukshmaya vritti, it's called as akantakara vritti, brahmakara vritti. But at the same time, the self cannot be known also. So you cannot say it as vritti also. But without vritti, it cannot be known also. There is a dilemma for these masters to explain this, Because the true self is never can become an object of your recognition. So it cannot be known. But every day you go into the deep sleep, you don't know it. But what happens in samadhi? Samadhi, if you are one with the self, now also you are one with the self. See, please follow it carefully. If you say, in samadhi I am one with the self, now also you are one with the self. You do not know it. In deep sleep, absolutely you are one with the self, you do not know it. So what is happening in samadhi? Samadhi somehow, susukshmaya vrittya, vimala bodha chakshusha. This truth is apprehended somehow. Don't ask me how and all. That is why it is called as vritti, but not the vritti. Akantakara vritti. See, vritti means kanda is only vritti. How can you call a vritti as akandakara vritti? It itself is a sort of a conflict or sort of, vritti itself is kanda is called as vritti. You say there is akandakara vritti. They have to talk in that language only. Because in samadhi what happens is something unique. Somehow consciously you recognize the self. Then they have to say, you are not recognizing actually the self, the glimpse of the self, or the reflection as you see yourself in the mirror. All those things. But all those things are not required for our liberation or realization. Because nobody taught Buddha all these things. How he realized? Nobody taught all these things to Bhagavan. How did he realize? So, this hair-splitting things and all is reserved for the Panditas to argue and to understand. But as Acharya, we may have to know, because when people come and ask us, we may have to explain. But for realization, all these things are not required. But please understand, what you have to understand is what is happening in samadhi. Now we are one with the self. In deep sleep also one with the self. But why that self is not known? Because consciously it has to be known in the samadhi. Then only when you go back to the self, you know it is. Then only when you are living in the waking and dream also, you know it is. So to know this is it is very important. Always she has been your mother, but to know she is your mother is something extraordinary. Without the knowledge, then there is nothing. See, this is a very beautiful thing actually. See, whatever is told to you now is very significant. Please contemplate on it.
So necklace is Akandakara gold.
Necklace is always there. You discovered it because you thought it was lost.
No, even if it is visible, we are looking at necklace, but it is gold.
Yeah, gold only we are looking at. But we think it is different from gold because we lost sight of gold. and we are only caught up in the akara.
The akhanda gold.
Yeah, okay, akhanda gold, like akhandhananda, akhanda gold. Correct, what you're saying is right. Okay. Maya Masulyacha, Dvaitam, Maya Matram idam Dvaitam, Advaitam Paramartataha. So Paramartataha, what is actually is Advaitam. Iti Brute Shrutihi. This is what Shruti says. And also it's confirmed in our own experience in the deep sleep. So in deep sleep there is no diversity. There is no Bheda. All the Vedas have gone. So like death is the leveler, deep sleep is the leveler. When you are in that Anandamaya Kosha as a prajna, na prajnanam illa, prajna is a different word used. I explained to you when macrocosm, microcosm happened. I explained to you Vishwa, Taijasa and Prajna. One who is a deep sleeper is called as Prajna. In the deep sleep, please understand, all of us are one. All of us meet in deep sleep. Merge, meet, whatever. Because there is no diversity in deep sleep. But Swamiji, I am awake when you are asleep. How can we meet in deep sleep? Gone. If you ask this, Swamiji, I am awake when you are asleep. How can we meet in deep sleep? Everything gone now. But these questions are very valid only. I am not saying it is invalid. But you have not understood what it is. Deep sleep means you can only analyze your experience. See, this is what is the basis of inquiry. Please understand. See, here our masters are very, very scientific minded, you know. Absolutely scientific minded. If you think about it, you are amazed. You are amazed. See, now I want to know the truth. Okay. What you have to understand, what you have to analyze, what you have to understand is my own experience. I have to take my own experience and I have to analyze. What is my own experience is these three states. The deep sleep state. So what is the experience in deep sleep state? There is nothing. But Swamiji, all the others were awake. This is the waking mind's information to you. It is not the deep sleep experience. Only when the waking mind says so many things. Waking mind says so many things. Similarly, the waking mind says, people were awake when you are asleep. The waking mind says, the clock was ticking, there was time when you are asleep. But that is waking mind's experience, waking mind's input, waking mind's information. It is not deep sleep experience. The experience in deep sleep is unique. So when you come to the waking state, somebody comes to you and tells you, means it is a waking mind's. It is not deep sleep experience. This you can understand. This is the very important, significant thing you should understand. Otherwise you go round and round and round only. People will ask, when you are asleep, we were awake. Then why do you say there is nothing, there is nothing? Here we are analyzing our own experience. So therefore be jagrada, be alert. Don't get caught. The waking mind is projecting so many things. It is projecting a world, stars, this, that, the wife, the children. It projects so many things. It can project another idea that everybody were awake when you are asleep. This idea can be projected. The waking mind is projecting so many things. It can project continuity. It can project anything. The waking mind can project anything. But you have to analyze only your experience scientifically, precisely. Fascinating, you know. It is really fascinating. Ananyatvamadishthānād āropyasya nirīkshitam panditairajju sarpādau vikalpo bhranti jīvanaha Ananyatvam adhishtanad Aropyasya nirikshitam Panditairajju sarpado Vikalpo bhranti jivanaha. Ananyatvam adhishtanad aropyasya nirikshitam. Always it is seen, this aropya, that superimposed, adhishtanad ananyatvam. It is not different from the substratum. Whatever is superimposed is actually not different from the substratum. Is that not so? When you see the snake, actually what you are seeing is rope only. So the snake is never ever separate from the rope. It's not something different from the rope. Though you see it as a snake, it is not different from the rope. Ananyatvam. Ananyatvam is why it is not something else. It is that and that alone, the adhishtanam only. What you are seeing as aropitam, whatever you see as superimposed, actually what it is not anything else. It is only the adhishtanam you are seeing. See, all these great saints, when they were given Bhu Samadhi, it is called as adhishtanam. Periyavas adhishtanam, it is said. What a beautiful word, terminology. Adhishtanam means that is the substratum of everything. So, the adhishtanam. So, the adhishtanam is truth. Aropitam is false. But, the aropitam is not any time something other than the adhishtanam. So, what you are seeing is Brahman only. But you are seeing it as a world. So, this seeing as a world is Bhranti Jivanaha. Vikalpaha means this seeing something else is Bhranti Jivanaha. Bhranti means is out of delusion. But what you are actually seeing is Brahman. You understand what I am saying? Because that is not different. This aropitam, superimposed, is not somewhere else. It is superimposed on the adhishtanam only. The superimposed, where it is superimposed? On the adhishtanam only it is superimposed. Therefore it is not other than the adhishtanam. But it is seen as something different. That is Bhranti Jivanaha. Because of the delusion only, it is seen as something else. But never ever it is something else different. Actually what you are seeing adhishtanam only. Like this example of the city reflected in the mirror. So what you are seeing actually is mirror only, not anything else. But Swamiji, there is a beautiful city there. See, what you are seeing is mirror and you are talking about a city. But city is seen, Swamiji, I have seen it. Yes, you are seeing it, but it is not other than the mirror. Mirror only you are seeing. So the Mahatmas again and again insist, mirror only is seen. Mirror only is seen. We say, where is the mirror? I see only the city, reflected city. We don't even say reflected because we see the city only. I see only the city, you say. They say, hey, you are seeing only the mirror. Where is the mirror? Array, mirror only is reflecting the city. You are seeing the reflected city only in the mirror. But where is the mirror? Buddhu, you shift your attention from the scenes, from the reflected city to the adhishtanam, where it is reflected. So you shift your attention from the reflected city to the mirror. That is what we have to do in meditation. Instead of going out, seeing only the reflected city, we have to gather all the thoughts, ideas and focus only on the mirror. Without mirror, there is no reflection. You cannot see the reflected city. But when you are only engrossed in the reflected city, whatever is happening there, you cannot see any more mirror. So first of all, what you should become, you should not give any attention to the reflected city, na-iti, whatever happens, just sakshi bhavanam. I am not going to be swayed by those reflections, those, things happening there. Like that, if you remain for some time, tang, it clicks. I have seen the mirror. I have seen the adhishtanam, the mirror. Otherwise, you are caught only in the happenings, the things. See, this is what this Paramatma is very mischievous. He has gone and hidden inside our own heart. And he has made our senses outward. Enna anyayam padu. He has created the sense outward and with so much of vasanas always facing out, and he has gone, idu kannamoochi vilayattu mari. What they say in English? Hide and seek. So he has gone and he has gone there into our heart. So always we are searching somewhere out, but he is there inside. Gurudev once beautifully explained a story. Gurudev is very good in telling stories. It's a very nice story actually. Once a Sage was traveling in a train. A Sage was traveling in a train and he was having a lot of money. Katta. Bundle of currencies he was having. As usual, he was keeping in some sort of so that people will not suspect it. So he has kept it somewhere. And opposite to him, in that same bogie or what they say, opposite to him, this thing, there was a fellow, a little suspicious. The Shethji had an eye for that. So he was this thing. And the thief, he recognized the Shethji has got lot of money. So he was waiting for Shethji to go out to brush the teeth or for the toilet or whatever. So he was waiting. The Shethji recognized this. He was a little concerned and worried. But what he can do, poor fellow. So the Shethji went to sleep. So the thief also, as if he was sleeping, he was waiting. Anyway, the Shethji will go to toilet. Because when you are growing old, you have to go to toilet again and again in the night. So he was waiting. Shethji could not do anything. He was pressurized. So he had to go to the toilet. He had gone to the toilet. This thief just got up and his things. He could not find the money. Ayo Rama, where is fellow? Bayangaramana fellow. Kondu poidara, kaiyode kondu poidara toilet. But he was not carrying anything. But he cannot hide that kind of money in this thing. He was worried. Then he came back. Then this thief just acted as if he is sleeping. And then he was wondering, next time when he goes, I'm going to do a thorough check. So next day, once again, he had went. Then once again, thorough check, everywhere. Money was not found. So the thing was, almost the journey was getting over. Then this thief could not contain himself. He asked the Shethji, Shethji, please tell me, where have you hidden this? Shethji said, under your pillow. I have hidden the money under your pillow. How beautiful. Because the thief was never expecting it, to search under his pillow. How intelligent this Shethji. So the thief was searching everywhere, but he was not thinking, imagining in his even wildest dream that the Shethji could hide everything under his pillow. So Bhagavan, what he has done? He has hidden the treasure inside our heart and made our senses outward. என்ன அநியாயம் பாது, கொஞ்சமாக கருணை வேண்டாமா? And you call him as ocean of compassion. So it is there within. So it is just to turn within and to discover it. If you are going to only see outside, nothing is going to happen. We will conclude, we will stop here. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.